In this 5 minutes video course we will talk about the impact of eHealth and mHealth on society. First we should answer, what is society? Society can be viewed as a structure, an order or a system. Within and through this corpus materialize such trends as economic conjunctures, stratification, or marginalization. Social constructionist ideas explain reality as a result of participating in relationships, and that makes the world what it is, where the realities get meaning or value in the human relational existence, which offers language, values, faith about the world, and life in which are born descriptions and explanations of lived events. The human being is seen as an entity that uses stories to express itself, and this is done through fragments of narrative, moments told in time and space, reflected upon and understood. And in this context it becomes more important what people call reality. One of the most critical changes in perception of society is that it can be seen as being constructed by stories, shared by people, and that makes the local stories more valuable for society. From this point of view, implementing eHealth and mHealth in a society that is more focused on local medical stories becomes more valuable than the general, universal truths of what healthcare means and how it can be provided. The patient is no longer a passive recipient of the care and the treatment, becoming more active and getting more and more agency for his life, including his health. Especially in mental health care, this shift to more person-centered care came with the need for empowerment for the patient, who changed from a passive recipient of the treatment and a subject of stabilization and symptom reduction to a person involved in his recovery process, supported by his community. It is essential to realize the influence of social constructionism on the way that illness is seen by society and the medical staff as well. And this shift is even more critical in approaching mental health difficulties. If some years ago, people suffering from mental illness were isolated, being this way marginalized by society in order to be treated by the experts without them having any recognition of their contribution to treatment, new ideas in the field actively involve the patients in their treatment and try to keep them integrated into the society. There is also made an effort of recovering the marginalized voices of the people suffering from mental illness, by taking into consideration their stories and their social contexts on providing their treatment. How can mHealth and eHealth impact a society more focused on patient? What mHealth means for people in society? They can get online consultations. Patient with chronic disease can self-monitor their blood pressure, oxygen level. They can receive and send information, from the patient to the doctor or from the doctor to the patient. The doctors can have medical interventions, like adjusting the treatment according to the feedback of the patient. And these are only some examples of what mHealth can bring. The mobile phone has become the most common tool for communication in society, even in low-income countries, so it is about the way people can communicate. The benefits of mobile phones are appreciated to be greater in populations from limited or constrained resource settings or from isolated or poor areas. So, mobile technology has become an important opportunity to deliver health services to the providers but also to its beneficiaries. This is why mHealth is considered an appropriate and easy-to-use tool for addressing chronic conditions. There are studies that prove the impact of using mobile phones on managing chronic disease, especially the self-monitoring possibility for people with hypertension, stroke, asthma and other chronic health difficulties. The patients can receive medical interventions and social support through apps from mobile phones, some of them connected to medical devices, and they could self-monitor specific parameters and improve their behaviors. So, how can mHealth have a greater impact on health in society? Even if in developing countries the use of the mobile phone as a public health application is not as advanced as in higher income countries, there is a need to invest more in this direction to strengthen public health to achieve the Millennium Development Goals. In this sense, mHealth is seen as a complementary strategy for strengthening health systems and achieving the health-related Millennium Development Goals in low and middle-income countries. Social marketing is an important concept that influences people at the community level, which refers to the systematic application of marketing, along with other concepts and techniques, to achieve specific behavioral goals for a social good. The connectivity brought by mobile phones opened the space for delivering ideas and promoting good health at the societal level. The stakeholders are influencing the introduction and use of mobile apps in strengthening people's health, from those producing the apps to the consumers who can be patients or family members, medical staff, political factors, etc. The stakeholders involved in influencing the impact of mHealth in society depends on the cultural context. The health of the people from a community can define whether it is rich or poor, and mHealth has the potential to contribute to strengthening the population's health. Being a widespread device, a mobile phone can be an instrument for many apps for monitoring health parameters, a direct way to communicate between medical staff and the patients or families of patients or between patients' communities, opening new ways of interaction in societies and also at the medical level.